Old protagonists.
I'm going to watch you blokes charging off the square. I'm going to watch you blokes coming off the square, so don't do anything stupid.
And Nathan Carroll and Fraser Gehrig, the emergency umpire, just coming out and trying to settle those two down.
Okay. The MCG comes alive, opening bounce of the season. White bumps it forward, arriving quickly as ball for the Saints, went to ground. Maloney gets in his back. Good ball, quickly to his feet, pops it out wide. Clark's got it. Matthew Clark towards half forward. Milne finds himself in space. The bounce, 60 metres out. Long towards full forward. They'll compete about 10 metres out. Big fist from Holland, defiantly. Behind, opening score of the night. Opening score of the season.
St Kilda supporters will be pretty pleased to see Stephen Milne get his hands on it early.
Whelan in short. Another careless opportunity for ball. Hard against the boundary line. Breaks, kicks, misses. Out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket.
Wardy, back over the line, mate. Here it is.
Well, he had a great chance there, Ball. I don't think he realised how much time and space he had for the moment. Goddard was forward early for the Saints as well. Here's Maloney. Frustrating year last year. Coming from Geelong the year before that. Goes short to centre wing. Maguire. No free kick to Miller, or is it? It is. Miller, who finished last year so well in that match against Fremantle in the final. So Maloney getting a bit of it early. Kicks to full forward, Neitz at the back, Fisher in front. Bull, third possession. And gives the free kick away, and a free kick to Davey.
You had it in your hands and then threw it away. No, you had it in your hands and threw it up.
Well, he's going to be disappointed, Luke Ball. He had a real chance at the other end. And then
Right here, thanks, Aaron.
Caught in the tackle.
Max here.
Aaron Davey, he's a master of this. The pressure when the opposition have it, he just creates so many opportunities through his hard work.
He had a disappointing finals match. And Baker took him out last year, but he did come back late in the game, and he's missed there. Ooh. So a miss at both ends of the ground. Scores level early in this match.
Luke Ball would be pleased. Short to the pocket. With the umpire's call. Fisher's kick to the 50. Oh, that was clever. Johnston, McDonald snaps. That's a magnificent effort. Big leap. Oh, guess who, Robbo? Russell Mania, 2 metres out, couldn't hang on. Another behind. And Melbourne applying big pressure.
Well, supporters can rest easy. Russell Robertson's knee is okay.
Yes.
Play on, not 15, play on!
Again in the pocket. Pressure brought to bear. Del Santo. This is Xavier Clark. Right on the defensive 50. As we look up ahead. Told to play on. Sets it towards the wing. Clark goes up. Had it knocked away by White. Camped in front, Maloney. Fumble McLean. In trouble. Tackled by Clark. Had it a while. Could have been pinged. Is.
Back behind the mark.
Well, the first fumble cost Brock McLean then. Had to take it cleanly. And Xavier Clark, who started the NAB Cup off in really good fashion.
Harvey. Didn't think I'd be calling him again, Dennis. 20 years and going strong, isn't he?
But he's glad you are, Bruce.
And so am I. Graham to Gehrig. Just on the 50.
Yeah.
He can kick this. The breeze is going down that way.
That fateful
here, Fraser.
move just before half-time in the final last year when he tried to take the man on. What a difference that made. He's one of 3 players to kick 70 goals in the last 3 seasons. Barry Hall, the other one. Gehrig from 52. It's going to be close. And hits the post.
Not play on.
No, I was looking for it, but I'm getting used to it again.
Thanks, Belly, right out.
Whelan to bring it in.
Thanks.
And what about this uniform from the Saints? New look? Like a team of interns.
Can't tell the teams apart, Dennis.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Billy
mate.
Clinton's got a team now in the AFL. Short one, wheel into the pocket.
Thanks, Stephen. That's the mark.
This is McDonald.
You wait for me to call that.
Intriguing start so
Play
far.
on, not 15, play on.
The umpire getting involved there. It wasn't 15 either. He was correct. McDonald across the body. Maloney's been busy. Johnson, well, that was a very strong shepherd as Jones came away. A blur went past. I'm not sure who it was. Ball is down and wobbly after an impressive start. He's very sore. Meantime, back come the Saints. Here's a chance for Goddard. Chips to the pocket, and Milne's got it. So Matthew Whelan and not Johnson may have been the man that collected Luke Ball.
And we've seen this numerous times with Luke Ball, facial injuries. He's got another one here, and just did not see Matthew Whelan shepherding off Nathan Jones.
You see what Whelan's in a bit of strife. He's coming from the ground with a shoulder. Remember, he missed the final against the Dockers last year.
Milne misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. And in fairness to Whelan, he appeared to be stationary.
Back over there.
He's in a lot of trouble here, Ball.
Against the post. There it is.
He's suffering, isn't he?
Move it on.
It's not the same as Gian Siracusa, I should say, and Kozicki last year, but I want to remind you a little bit of what happened at Telstra Dome on that fateful day for Kozzy.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what happened there.
But Whelan also, like Ball, suffering a bit for it. He missed that final with the shoulder.
Okay. Travis, don't go into the protected area, okay?
Bartram down the line. He had to be very, very accurate. He was.
Thanks. Thanks, Jason.
Lee Fisher picking up Robertson.
Setting it up to Jones.
You look at the numbers back for St Kilda.
And now to Ward, who takes Gehrig on and then runs his full distance and then kicks to full forward to Neitz, and he's got him. Neitz did well there.
Blood rule, David. David, is it blood rule, David? Okay, blood rule.
Well, he's as brave as brave,
The blood rule.
Luke Ball, but even that knock will bring him off, and you'll need to be fixed up at... he's one of those players, Bruce, that it just seems to attract contact to the head for some reason, probably because he's brave and he's tough. Unbelievable.
Well, one captain goes off and the other comes on. Hayes for Ball.
I think if Billy Connolly was watching that replay, he might be tempted to say, look what he did.
Will it be a test case for the new interpretations?
Well, I can't see how. I mean, Whelan appeared to be within 5 metres of the ball. Kind of stationary.
Contact above the shoulders, though, it's always an iffy one.
Yeah, but if you... Anyway.
52-17 from set shots last year, Neitz. Good looking kick, holding the line. The first goal for the season.
David Neitz continuing on his form against St Kilda. Daniel Ward, though, broke the line. Fraser Gehrig had to get a finger on the jumper, or at least just retard him from running through the lines. And what a beautiful kick. Clark dropping back into space. Still wasn't enough to stop David Neitz's lead. And what a beautiful kick to space by Daniel Ward.
David Neitz now the clubhouse leader for goal of the year.
Wait for the footy starting side.
1-2 to 2 behinds. Back in the middle. Good bounce too. On the way down, White goes a second time. Could have been held without it. Maloney. White, Jones under pressure. Skies one towards the wing. Bruce goes back, reaching over the top. Well done by Blake. Bruce the better recovery. Surrounded by Saints. Tries to lay it off and did well. Maloney once more. Feeds it back this time. McDonald's kick, not a good one. There was a margin for error. Gehrig didn't go with the ball. McLean went to ground. That goes Carroll. Forced back Melbourne, but in possession. McLean. Nice kick. White comes up, takes the mark inside the centre square.
Stay out, Milne.
He's had some big games against the Saints. Averages 16 possessions. Short one, a beauty. Pinpoint accuracy onto the chest of Green. And Ricky's got some information on Luke Ball.
Well, I checked out both players, Matthew Whelan and Luke Ball. There's a lot of blood coming from both players. Whelan's got a cut behind his right ear. Luke Ball's got a rip and gash above his left eye, and he's gone into the rooms.
Green, who can kick it a long way. Distance will not be a problem. Steps to the 50 and beyond. Lots of carry on the kick. Magnificent. Gun barrel straight.
The Demons are smart there. They used Jeff White who's leading up from centre half forward. Now Matthew Clark has got a big job. He's inside defensive 50 as the loose tall who is trying to cut off that lead. He has to get in better position because on both occasions they've been inside 50, they've been able to find space. He has to cut that space off at all costs.
Jamar now in the ruck.
By the shirt. Wait for the bit.
So Clark and Jamar. Clark eyes on Jamar.
Your arms went straight at him. Shot
Gives
to
the free kick away.
Thank you. Right
So
on,
good start for Jamar here. He was the other player along with Whelan who missed going to Perth in the second week of the finals through an injury. Ward with a floater, not a good kick, difficult for the forwards. Melbourne making all the running here. Bate on the up was good. Back to Miller, back to Green, back to Jones, back to Johnston to fall forward. Almost Davey, well done though. Neitz' little one, Clark. Clever enough to Dal Santo. And then Dal Santo under pressure. Oh, just got through Robertson. And now Blake on the burst for the Saints.
Beyond the wing, good kick too. Goddard. Zitsky offers, that's ignored, goes long, drifting back is Fiora, and he's got it. Gee, that was a good kick, led him to the ball.
Open 52 there, Dennis.
Hugs the boundary, and Fraser's got it. Fraser Gehrig.
Well, it is a different forward structure. They've got two players that started inside attacking 50. They went right up the ground and they ran onto the football. Fiora, who through leg speed was able to generate a bit of space.
That's right.
Fraser Gehrig coming off 20, or rather 71 goals last season. Best effort against Melbourne, 7, round 18, 2005. Sharp angle, hits the post.
Kick it off, kick it off.
For the second time tonight, Fraser. I think he thought it was one of your jokes, Dennis, when you said 21 goals last year, but he wasn't laughing. Here's Green.
How many people do, Bruce?
To Holland.
Back behind your mark.
I did.
Mark's here.
I can't read my own writing. It's like a doctor in a wind tunnel.
Play on.
Here's Jones. Made a big impact late last year.
He's zoning back here, Saints. They're just clogging up all the space.
Interesting kick because Green was outnumbered and now the Demons could be in trouble. Neil, look away handball, not too good to Johnston. Struggling early here, the Saints. Holland's handball awful. Bruce then gives it up. Maloney misses. Uze, good hands. He'll be pleased with that. And then Jones, and here's a chance on the run now.
He worked hard then.
Johnston normally uses it, but Clark, who started well here tonight, cuts it off. He only lasted 7 minutes in the elimination final last year against the D's, and good to see Cozzy on the burst take the mark.
Wasn't that a great grab? Kazitsky backing himself against the ball, spill that, and Melbourne had it. Kazitsky kicks down towards half forward. Again, Blake doing okay on the lead. Hard against the boundary line, causing them one or two problems down there. Looks across the ground, goes very short. Fiora, who's normally a long kick, plays on, some indecision, now releases the ball. Gehrig's in front, reaching over the top. Carroll spills behind. Goddard, Milne running into an open goal. Great tackle, that's got to be holding the ball. Advantage will be paid. Melbourne swoop on the crumb. This is Carroll, up to the back pocket. Beckons a player towards him, that's Bates. And Bates taking the mark, left half back to the wing. Clever kick into the path of Green. Needs it to sit now. I think he may have been across the line. Interesting call for the boundary umpire. Green pleads his case. Boundary umpire agrees. It'll be a throw-in. Tim Watson.
Interesting matchup down here. Ross Lyon waited to see where Cameron Bruce went, and then he sent Jason Blake to him. So Blake's actually playing in the forward line, but he's playing a defensive role on Cameron Bruce.
Ross Lyon, first match as a senior coach. Assistant under some of the greats, Dennis Pagan, David Parkin, Robert Walls, Paul Roos, all premiership coaches. I think it was Bartram that ran down Milne a moment ago. Gee, it was a good effort.
Certainly was in the goal square. Stephen Milne was about to waltz into an open goal.
Play on,
Hayes.
play on, play on.
What a recovery.
Oh, fantastic effort, and one play that the Saints certainly need out there.
Knee reconstruction did it in round 9 last year. Green's been good early. The Demons looking okay. Bell to centre half for Robertson. No free kick to Maguire that time. Thought it might be Lee Fisher, went without it. Sam Fisher. Clark, who's playing a swooping roll down back, sweeps it away. That's hard. So up from the rookie list because of the long-term injury to Aaron Hamill, gets his first run tonight with the Saints after 7 games with the Brisbane Lions.
And just looking at the handballs, the Demons certainly linking up 23-7.
This is Ward. Under pressure, Jones, Bates, promising youngster, kicks inside the forward 50. Robertson, wonderful judgment. Came under the ball, Fisher came with him. Fisher, out of instinct, wanted front spot. Robbo let him have it.
They're mixing up their forward 52, the Demons. They've got multiple players coming out of the goal square, and this is going to be the trouble for the Saints. They're missing a few key defenders, Max Hutchin in particular, and a lot of good scribes. Dennis thought that this may be the area where Melbourne do get on top.
Robbo, 44 goals last season, down from 73 in 2005. Good looking effort, just falling away towards the right, but I think it's okay.
Break free in the square.
Just watching St Kilda at the moment, just seems as though they are getting their numbers back. We've seen that with the Sydney style on many occasions where they just get their numbers back and they work pretty hard, and Ross Lyon has certainly adopted that here with St Kilda. They have to be very diligent though in getting their man, their direct opponent, when the ball is going inside the attacking half of the ground.
Don't hold him off the footy. Watching you taggers all night.
Saints need a goal here.
Give him a run at the footy.
Green, Neitz and Robertson the goal scorers for the Demons, so they're showing their variety up forward.
Touch, play.
As I said, St Kilda need a goal here, and Bates showed his great long kicking ability a moment ago, didn't he, with that penetrating kick, getting it all the way to Robbo. Here's Milne, he's been lively. They just haven't been able to finish off. First time that Thompson's had a run. Into Graham, loves to run with the ball and carry it. Goes long to full forward, Goddard the target, couldn't quite. Kazitsky in the pocket and swings the handball back. And a kick by Maguire across the ground and behind Tim Watson.
Ross Lyon might be a little bit concerned already about that matchup. Lee Fisher on Robbo. Generally, Sam Fisher would probably get that third tall job. Lee Fisher generally plays on the smaller players. They'll be keeping a very good eye on that.
Margin 16 points. Whelan in the back pocket then. Melbourne looking very good so far. Carroll.
Thanks, Brendan. Stay there.
A lot of good work starting out of defence. So Carroll up from the back pocket. Little chip. Whelan, well, took his eye off the football. Montagna didn't. Runs to 50. Lines up. Could be offline. It is. Golden opportunity.
Thanks, Fraser.
Most unlike Matthew Whelan. Maybe Montagna called him out of it. Thompson does brilliantly. Stepped around Bartram, took the mark. 45 metres out, sharp angle. 5 metres in from the boundary line. Looks towards the middle. Comes to Hayes, right on the 50. Takes on the man who was standing on Thompson's mark. Kicks towards full forward. Offline yet again, so St Kilda now squandering some chances.
Neil Danaher very animated in the box. He probably doesn't show his emotions, Bruce, but occasionally can let fly.
6 behind the Saints, and remember Milne out of bounds on the full, so they've had 7 chances, you would say, and 2 or 3 of them have been pretty easy. Uzo goes back. So the Demons just controlling it for the moment. Holland gave it to Bates. Bates in a bit of strife. Holland's in more strife. He almost gave it then to Whelan, to Johnston, to Uze. But the umpire say not 15. To White, to Bell. A bit up and under, but he ends up getting a bit of distance to centre wing. Hard ball to mark. Fisher and Maguire were at it. Thompson back in board to Lee Fisher, to Maguire, to Clark. Now he's got some space. Gets it out wider still. Milne, little hook pass looking for Gehrig. Holland should have probably taken him then, couldn't quite. Ball in dispute. And holding the ball. So a Saints free kick here.
Well, Holland should have taken that
Right
grab.
here, Stevie.
Uncontested mark.
2 Melbourne players.
Stevie
locked in.
Baker.
Yeah, but the other bloke had him both.
No. 2 players had to lock in. Yeah, I got a try. Thanks, mate.
Yep, Carroll just dragging it in with the right arm and made no effort to get rid of it. Umpire right on the right spot.
So can Baker kick their first goal? That looks okay. It looks good. He's got it.
And an opportunistic goal there for Baker. The Demons, it's obvious that they're playing possession football in their defensive 50. At no cost do they want to kick it to a 50-50 contest. They want to keep it. If that means overusing the handball, they'll do that. The risk is a little bit early on in the season to be flirting, and they may have just done that too often, and you can come unstuck.
So after 20 minutes of playing time, the Saints get their first goal from an unlikely source, Stephen Baker. Back in the middle, 20 plays 12. Saints back in touch. McLean, hurried kick down towards half forward, bounces just outside the 50. Davey worked off it nicely by the youngster Attard, feeds it back. Maguire, waits to see him back. Not a good kick though. Chopped off by Neitz, 45 metres out with the left foot. It wanders down towards the pocket. Will it stay in? Yes, it will. Lee Fisher, no, not quite. He did cross the line with a footy.
I like Ross Lyon's move on putting Attard onto Davey. Very dangerous player. Frees up Stephen Baker.
Lucky or unlucky numbers tonight, 3, 9 and 21. Over the football, Clark initially. Bate, head down, spills to Robertson, kicked it low, clever goal.
And the word out of the Junction Oval or the Demon homeland is that Russell Robertson's pre-season has been absolutely first rate, and 2 early goals would suggest that he is up and going. Lost a little bit of weight as well. I think he stripped 3 or 4 kilos and he looks very sharp.
The eyes up, let's go the footy, boys.
So Robbo with a couple of goals early. He scored in 22 of the 23 matches he played last year, but didn't really get a bag. Be looking for that tonight now. 26-12, so the Demons maintain the edge after the Saints had got it back to 8 points a moment ago.
High tackle. Back here. When he's kicked, high tackle.
He only knows how to play one way, Lenny Hayes. It's go in and get the footy, and normally uses it pretty well also.
He's a great all-rounder, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
All the figures add up for him.
Stay there, Trav. Hasn't gone.
Fiora.
Move it on, Aaron.
That's 70 metres from goal. Goddard has been a target in this opening quarter. Used his body well there, Goddard, against Bell. Milne couldn't quite. Tried the back turn and take the ball at the same time. Bate tries to break a tackle, did well to Johnson. Good hands there by Johnson for Melbourne. Robertson was terrific. What an opening quarter he's having. Gets another little touch. Del Santo quite early. Graham's handball good. Fiora to set up.
Getting plenty of it too. Fiora to Clark. Inside the centre circles. Looks inside the 50. Sets it up long. Clever mark, Goddard. As Bruce said just moments ago, he's become a focal point down there. They're looking for him.
Well, it's probably a good matchup too, Bruce and Dennis. That Bell's not as tall as what Goddard is, but pretty good at ground level. But in the air, Goddard will get him just about every time.
Question of accuracy here then. Great angle. He's working it back, right to left. Another goal for the Saints.
And Xavier Clark off the half-back line. Bruce, you did say that he was swooping. He certainly is doing that. And Goddard on the lead here. Good kick to the fat side. And Goddard using his body at the right time. Just making that slight contact. Not using the hands. And protecting the space where the ball was landing.
Can't block.
Got to watch the footy.
So the Saints stay close, don't they? 26 to 18. Dennis mentioned Baker, an unlikely source. He only got 5 goals last year. Baker, Goddard got 10. So you'd have to say their first 2 goal scorers tonight, a bit of a surprise, but the surprise was that Goddard played forward right from the first bounce, having a great season down back last year as a rebounder. Here's Maloney. Uze started well enough. A lot of conjecture about whether he would play tonight and keep the long streak going. And that's a bit wild and wide.
A couple of big jobs out there too, Bruce. Nathan Jones picking up Lenny Hayes.
Play on.
See how fit Lenny Hayes is, because Nathan Jones has stripped 7 kilos in the off-season.
Montagna with a stroll, and no one really going for him. A 5th bounce, drawing and drawing. And now to use Fisher.
It's all right.
It's good effort by McLean, and a very good effort because he holds his feet. Don't you just love that bit of footy? Bate misses it and then gets into the back, and Fisher's free kick. Advantage given, and Graham's away.
Towards the pocket. Gehrig's the target, and that's a strong grab. He just plucked it. The hands there early.
Should swing around here. Will favour the left.
He often does, and he waits for the umpire to set the mark and then shuffles off to Buffalo. Although this will be difficult because he's out across the boundary line.
And Carroll was right under that too, Dan. Yeah. He came out and he knew he was going to do that.
Gehrig, good looking kick. Just sliding it across the face. Big reach at the back, Blake. And it spills across the line. Just what we expected. Good game of football to start the season.
Melbourne mixing up who's kicking in. Travis Johnson's taken it a couple of times. Ward got confidence in all their backmen to be able to hit the target.
7 points the margin. McDonald, best and fairest last season. A runaway winner. Back to the pocket. Uze hasn't seen much of it. Maloney's had 8 possessions. McDonald again. Clock running down towards quarter time.
Best and fairest, and the only All-Australian for the Demons last year, McDonald.
Right on, Andrew.
Here's Bell.
Play on.
McLean. So Melbourne being very careful here.
Well, it's obviously from Neil Danaher has said, do not cough the ball up, do not kick to a 50-50 or any contest. We want to keep possession here. Let's make them work. Let's make them be disciplined.
Chris Johnson worked hard there, but he couldn't take the mark, and Harvey did very well, and then Goddard sprayed it. He'll be disappointed with that. You had Gehrig in the goal square.
Up here, Cam.
7 marks inside 50 for the Saints. Bruce, they're getting their hands on it, just not being able to cop or cap those opportunities off.
Well, the conversion's been the problem, hasn't it?
Certainly has.
Stay there, Nick.
There's Ward.
Cheers, mate.
He's a new man, Dennis. Daniel Ward, after what happened in the off-season also. He's got a new lease of life.
Shed his demons then. That's good news. Not a good kick though. Thompson, but unlucky. Jones has been very industrious. This is Carroll through midfield. Probing kick to half forward. Robbo slipping away from Clark. 65 metres out. Clock is down to a minute. Robbo is frustrated. Up ahead, Neitz. Eyeball to eyeball with Fisher. Meantime, Bruce slips his marker. And that's the other side of the coin. Talking about the mismatch at the other end. Blake with the height. Bruce right there with the mobility.
First time inside 50 for the Demons in 7 minutes. So they're being very, very good when they are going inside. Finding a spot-up player almost on every occasion.
This is a pretty tough kick. Cameron Bruce. Not his best effort. Maybe he intended it to go there. Don't know. Clark's got it. He intended that one to go across the line. In the grasp. Behind.
It was an interesting miscue from Bruce, wasn't it? Got to a real hot spot in the end. Montagna, Milne playing deep as he did a fair bit last year. Now here's that height advantage for Blake over Bruce, but Bruce did a good job.
Contest, throw it in.
What Cameron Bruce needs to do to Blake, which he has been doing, take him all the way inside attacking 50. He's got the engine that will let him run 4 quarters out without any problem whatsoever.
Jamar being held on to. And the Melbourne hold their lead as they did throughout that opening term. Saints had some chances. Gehrig had 3 shots for goal, hit the post a couple of times, and then caressed another one from the pocket. But with Robertson's couple of goals, it's Melbourne 4-3 to 2-7.
Friday night football at the G. Good bounce. Good knock. You heard it. Green to White, the man who got the good knock. Jones, Bruce over the top. Miller is running down towards half forward. Hayes is closing. Miller played it brilliantly on one knee as if receiving a knighthood. Get across to Bruce to Uze. Long kick towards full forward. Robbo's going back. Oblivious. He was oblivious to everything. And he's marked about 5 metres out and goes back to White. That was a wonderful mark.
Wonderful for a few reasons too, Dennis.
2 metres this way.
David Neitz has got to take a lot of credit for that. Protected the space for Robbo to come back in, and Robbo had confidence to come back. May have even infringed, but David Neitz did everything he could to keep the space free for Robbo.
Jeff White.
Right on, Doc.
99 career goals. About to acknowledge his bat to the crowd, and he comes and kicks the goal. Good start for the D's.
And a lot of work done on the structure of the Demons forward line. They certainly have quality. And when you look at the 4 goal kickers for the Demons so far, Jeff White, Russell Robertson, Brad Green and David Neitz. A lot of supporters, the coaching box, everybody concerned with the Demons would be very pleased with 4 quality players who should kick goals, are kicking the goals.
So 100 career goals in his 200th match for Melbourne tonight, Jeff White. Number 1 draft pick with the Dockers in the early days.
Play on.
A great career. McDonald. So Melbourne maintain the edge here.
Yes!
Hayes working overtime as always.
Holding Daniel Bell. Bell is kick. Stay out, Justin. Thank you.
So free kick against Goddard for hanging on. Bell, just a floating kick and not a particularly good one. Fiora front spot. Then one at back. Mrs. Clark. This will be hard for the big fella. He kept his head down. He did pretty well in the end. Gehrig's a long way from home. He's in a bit of strife now, I think. They may be able to run off him. No, he holds it up. Now looks for the free.
It's out, it's out.
You heard the umpire. It's not out now.
Holding it.
You just knew it was coming, didn't you?
He didn't want to blow his whistle. He didn't want to bounce it.
Just holding it in. No attempt to get it out.
He did not want to bounce it then, Dennis.
You're right. Fiora. Del Santo. Haven't seen a lot of him. We talked about him coming into the game.
But James McDonald playing close to him. James McDonald having 9 possessions.
That's a clever kick. Gehrig just holds his ground. Couldn't hold the football. Lays it off though. Harvey a fumble. Now Bell a chance. Taking a full revolution by Fraser. Spills out. Ward. White.
Yours.
Clears the zone, at least for the moment. Bounces up towards the wing. Fisher surrounded by Melbourne players. Kept coming and finished his work. Gave it to Clark. 25 metres out directly in front.
Xavier straight in front.
Luke Ball prowling the boundary line. That's better.
Gee, Luke Ball with more tape on his head. It's becoming a very common theme with the young man.
Brock, back a metre, please. Thanks.
Xavier Clark. The beneficiary of an uncanny kick from Sam Fletcher. And he pops it through, the X-Man. Goal for goal.
Well, we saw his stunning performance up in Cairns in really heavy, wet conditions, and he handled the ball as though it was dry. We have seen him down on the half-back line for most of the first quarter. He's most dangerous, though, when he is kicking goals and floating inside, attacking 50. And he did that well, but a very smart kick. Fisher did pull the kick and was able to see the space that Clark had made. Very good vision.
Watch for the bounce.
Early in this match with the Saints,
Watching off the footy.
haven't kicked consecutive goals yet. They've got to this margin a couple of times within a kick and a bit. Clark, just 3 goals last year. Had an abbreviated season again, but an early goal this season. White with a high ball to the 50, Neitz and Fisher. And Fisher with the free kick.
Very good decision there. The umpire was right on that. Neitz just had a handful of jump up.
It was a good kick by Fisher a moment ago. He had so much momentum up, but he was able to just control it and get it to Clark. Now to Fisher. Back to Clark. So he's working again off half-back, but that wasn't a particularly good kick. White put Jones into trouble, to Bruce, to McDonald. Melbourne just trying to fish here and trying to set something up. McDonald's kick was a nothing kick. And Clark to Del Santo, who's been in the best 2 players on the ground in the last 3 matches these 2 teams have played. Here's big Kazicki at about 80 metres. Gehrig to the pocket.
Got him.
Well, he did everything right, Gehrig, and he actually seduced the free kick in the end. And no, has to come back. Geez, mine. I don't think his mind's as quick as yours, Dennis, out there.
What would you say? Fraser, I know you want to play on, but you don't play on towards the boundary line. On your left foot would have been one of the hardest kicks in football.
I'm saying he's a very clever footballer.
Oh, is that what you say?
Thanks, Adam.
I'm not sure you helped your own argument there, but
Walk out 5 metres.
very nice of you to say.
Well, can Clark kick the consecutive goal and get his second goal here? And a kick from just on 50. Not good, doesn't time it, floats, but wow, Kazicki. Well, every Saint supporter around Australia's going to love that, aren't they?
Back here, Ben. Thank you.
Xavier Clark has had a lot of soft tissue hamstring injuries, and you could just tell with that kick that he didn't want to give it 100%. It was a 4 or 5 step run up, and it was a conservative kick.
Well, Cozzy, who set the footy world alight a couple of seasons ago when he produced a month of footy rarely seen, kicks his goal and the Saints get close.
I can't tell you what to say, guys. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see any ball. He was right there. So if he touched it, he touched it.
As a football follower, you want to see good players like Kazicki out there playing. Gehrig there, pretty good effort, and decides to play on. The umpire calls him back. Fraser's trying a couple of tricks. And copping a mouthful was Nathan Carroll too. Well read there by Kazicki. That came off the goal square, was in the right spot.
Goal set up by Fraser Gehrig. It's amazing, close to goal. He looks very quick. On the wing moments ago, looked very slow. Here's the bounce. Just 2 points the difference then. Jamar on the way down, knocked it down. Hayes immediately attracts a crowd. And having said that about Fraser, this week, I guess lacking speed is probably good news and bad news. What about this at quarter time?
Just have a look at that. There is so much tape on his foot and his calf, just having foot injuries or foot problems, and probably related to his knee or his leg break that he had last year.
McLean to Jamar, out of the congestion. This is Goddard dropping back.
Do you ever wear that much tape, Dennis?
Yes. Montagna comes away, but that was post-football. Down towards the pocket, diving at it, Kazicki. Clever by Bartram to Holland. Down went Bate. Kazicki came again, Milnes over the football. And merging with it, McLean did pretty well in a tight situation. Now it's out of bounds, intended for Bell, Tim Watson.
St Kilda have been playing a tall forward line in the second quarter. Gehrig, Blake, Kazicki, Goddard. The matchup I think they'll like the best, and they have pushed him back into the goal square a couple of minutes ago, was Goddard and Bell. I think that's the one they'll try and exploit.
McLean brought down. Saw Maguire a moment ago in pain. He's played every bit of this match. So the free kick to the Saints, and they're away here through Montagna. Clark, nearly, not quite. And now Davey, who we haven't seen much of. Just how fast can Fraser be here? Well, he's out of the frame now. Davey to Green, to Bate. He's going to have to be quick. He's okay. To Maloney, gets through some heavy traffic. Back to Bate. Suddenly there's St Kilda players everywhere. No highway for Melbourne at the moment. Quick kick around the body by Maloney to half forward. Melbourne haven't been in attack for a while. And Maguire, who we saw in pain at quarter time, just belts it away.
And they've gone up a notch, the Saints. They've got a sniff, and they are working in numbers. And just going to the Saints bench there, Ricks, and also Ball, who needs to come back on the ground. Only played 7 minutes in that first quarter.
You can sense he's itching to. Matthew Clark, little chip. Got there in the nick of time. Baker, who scored the Saints' first goal after 20 minutes of playing time. It took a while, but now they're right back in the hunt. The margin 2 points. Baker lobs one. That's all it was, towards half forward, giving a contest down there. Kozeski, that was enough. Shook it free. Clark, Thompson. Now Harvey hasn't seen a lot of it. In the grass, poor kick. Barely the required margin. McLean takes the mark, plays on. The defensive side of half-back, this is Ward. Needs a runner. Beckons Neitz. Neitz is going now. Miller might be the preferred option though. Well, Ward decides neither of them. Could be blindsided by that Gazelle Fraser, who missed him. Down towards the 50. Awkward half volley for Robbo. Outnumbered. Got into his tumble turn. Hayes got it from Thompson. And Fraser has it on the wing. That's his patch out there. Comes to Harvey. That's better. Harvey, little chip. Beautifully done. McWalter's got it. 35 metres out directly in front.
Well, Ward coming inside towards Robertson, and he really needed to hit that target. Otherwise, on the counter attack, you're going to get hurt every time. And Harvey, very smart. You know he's not going to kick it any more than 30 metres, but probably a correct decision. 50-50.
9 Saints have marked inside the forward 50. The 9th of them, McWalter, may have cleared the line and put the Saints in front.
They only just got there. Really hurts when you are running out. Daniel Ward probably had 1 or 2 bounces too many. He had Miller streaming up the ground, opted not to hit up the target, and then was unable to hit Robertson, which puts so much pressure on when you do turn it over in the centre of the ground.
What a stupid question. Come to me with something reasonable. Let's just go to the footy, boys. Eyes up, jump at the footy.
Saints have had the last 6 inside 50s, kicked the last 3 goals, get back the lead after they had it very early on. Melbourne basically have been a goal and a half to 2.5 in front all night. But now it's the Demons who need a goal.
My ball. Thank you.
Aaron Davey there, just letting Fraser know. Oh, yeah. Enjoys that.
Play on.
Uzo trying to toe poke. Might get it back here, Uzo. Clever. Kicks the ball to full forward. Lee Fisher front spot. Neitz. Sam Fisher gets into his back a bit. No, Freeze a bit unlucky there, Neitz, I think. Harvey did very well to Del Santo, to space. Melbourne with numbers here. A chance to set up for the D's. Maloney normally loves the long bomb. He can't quite get some purchase here, and then goes to the pocket. Good effort, Neitz. Goddard started up forward. Good kick. Beautiful kick. Baker didn't have to break stride.
Baker's on the wing then. Seesawing affair now. Saints by 4. Gehrig working up the ground. Crowd favourite, as you can tell. 75 metres out. Little chip inside the forward 50. Stretching down there, Blake. Couldn't complete the mark. Coming hard was Attard. Ball was out of bounds. What happens to past coaches? Well, last time
Don't block down the front.
these sides played, he was in the coaching box. Now he's in the broadcasting box. Alongside a guru, as you can see. Tossed in. Hooked forward by Jamar. Follows up his own good work. Shucked by Attard. McWalter. Little chip inside the 50. In fact, right on the line. Milne takes the mark. And I think from that reaction, thinks he's too far out to score.
Okay.
Well, that's got to be illegal. I would have thought. Baker's got it.
Well, he's picking up Travis Johnson. And Baker had 15 to 20 metres at that stage. Fraser Gehrig probably being held in a couple of his attempted leads.
Can you do that?
2 metres, Brock.
He can in Dancing with the Stars. Baker. Sharpshooter. Stephen Baker has got 2 tonight.
Concerns for Melbourne. Refused to kick the ball. They've had 27 kicks only, and worrying times if they don't begin to start kicking. Too much handball at the moment, and they need to get their running game going, but at the same time they need to start penetrating with their disposals.
Well, this is a bonus. Baker with a couple of goals here.
Thanks, Lenny. Jonesy.
The Saints have kicked 4 in a row, and they've charged to a handy break before half-time.
Good tap.
Jamar. Hayes.
No chance, mine. Thanks. Good tackle. Lean up, lean up, lean
Matty
up.
Whelan.
Thanks. That was
And
Thanks, mate.
running into Luke Ball early, which will be a very interesting decision what's made at the end of this game and over the weekend. But Ball's been on the interchange, coming back on the bench for the Saints, plastered all over his forehead, and then Matt Whelan. Davey, clever really, but just unable to control the last little toe poke to himself.
Been really impressed with that, Art. His work on Davey. Been right beside him the whole evening. The top 5 disposals there: Jones, Maloney, McDonald, Bell and Johnson.
Give us room.
Getting plenty of the football, but a lot of them have been wasted. Short handballs.
High! Free kick, Melbourne. Yes. Jamar's kick.
Melbourne fans enjoying that one.
Thanks, Travis.
Steve McBurney.
Thank you, Andrew.
Luke Ball. That could be a fitness test. Uze comes to Holland.
Just a bit of a dust-up in the centre of the ground with Stevie Baker just giving Travis Johnston and Daniel Ward a bit of lip.
Can't believe that. Miller. Good grab from the Holland kick. He's 75 metres out. Neitz is moving. Kick goes in that direction. Goddard goes back with courage. Upended. Loose ball though. Favours the Saints. Ricks lays it off. Graham. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight. Hayes. This will be interesting. Hayes and Jones. Jones put himself in. And the ball goes across the boundary line. Just over 8 minutes till half-time. And Luke Ball gives us the thumbs up.
He passed that test on the phone. He is lucid. Let's see if he can play a part for the Saints. He's certainly lacking nothing in courage and endeavour. Holland back to Maloney. Out wide to Ward.
Find their halves.
Struggled early last year and then came in and ended up averaging more disposals than he had in any other time in his career. That one a little wasted. A long bomb in and Rick's getting back. So Melbourne struggling to find a way home here. They kicked an early goal in the second term and nothing since.
Well, they're just not linking up at the moment either, Bruce. When they are kicking long, they're kicking long at the wrong time. St Kilda just being more disciplined and using the ball a lot better when they're on their offensive side of the ground.
The remarkable Robert Harvey. He's missed just 9 games in the last 4 years, Harvey, after missing 36 in the 4 before that. He had hamstring problems for years and years, and yet at 35, he's been able to play all but 2 games in the last 4 years on average. It's an outstanding effort, and still with run from centre wing. Good kick to Blake. St Kilda right on top here. Been a big turnaround in this match, certainly on the scoreboard. Too slow, Blake, then, and Uze was able to just pick it off and belt it over the line.
Let's not underestimate Lenny Hayes' performance also after coming back from a serious knee injury.
Those numbers tell a story. Melbourne can't get the footy at the moment. Uze, clever hands, got it from Bruce. Releases Johnston around the outer side. Pushed off it though. Some good work, Montagna. Heard the umpire. Hold the commentary. Ball's hand pass taken by Hayes. Pulls it back. Chance down there for Milne. Johnson arrived. Loose ball got up. They've got the numbers, the Saints. Well done, Bartram. A couple of desperate acts tonight. This would be tough. Oh, gee, that is tough. Old-timers would be turning in their grave.
Can't dive on it. Mark's here.
what can you do when you're in defensive 50, you've got the ball, you've got two opponents around you. Are you supposed to just leave the ball or just knock it into open space? So
we know it's the rule.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That was terrific. The tackle on Goddard, then the desperation lunge.
And penalised.
Stands on the mark and watches Fiora come in. Maybe justice was done. Fiora's got a conscience. It's out of bounds on the full.
Not the first good tackle Bartram's done tonight. Remember him running Mullen down in the opening turn.
That's right.
So they've had some chances, the Saints, to have a big lead.
Should play on him. Hasn't got a player on the mark.
Mullen kicked one out of bounds on the full in the opening turn. Fiora then. And yet they lead by 10 and they've had a lot more scoring shots. 13-8. Dangerous kick. They're really struggling here, Melbourne. Maguire.
No system at all, Bruce.
Can't find a way home, can they? Can't get it to 50 even. Carroll and Gehrig and Harvey.
Brody, had a good look. I thought it was a good contest, Fraser. I didn't see anything there.
Fraser, just get the ball down and get it down quickly.
What a personality. Great player he is. Well, Hayes into the back.
No chance all fell on it then.
Ball up.
Thanks, Lenny.
He's got those eyes. He has got those eyes that would almost melt you.
Rick's front spot.
No chance, mine.
Well, this will be interesting. A lot of stoppages. Ross Lyon coming from the Swans, where they excelled in this area. Can the Saints get something from this within 30 metres of the goal?
Like the captain on the bridge there. Ross Lyon beat 52 others to get this job. Bates, well, Mill missed it. Down goes White. Copped one in the face too. Pretty tough in there.
No chance. Thanks.
John Barker there. He'd have the doing the forward line or back line, do you think, Bruce?
I think he might be up forward. He could kick a goal, couldn't he?
He was a very good player, unlucky with injury also.
Reverse swing.
He knew he's back.
White knocked it down, and a free kick is going to Ward, pushing the back. Lays it off. Johnson, his dad won a couple of best and fairest with Melbourne. Allen, opportunity. McWalter fumbled. Robertson hasn't seen a lot of it in this term, has 2 goals to his name. McLean upended, hurt in the process. Scramble, trying to force his way through McDonald in the opposite direction. Baker did well, got boot to ball. But we've got a whistle, and I think Baker may have been slung.
Andrew Thompson, downfield, dumped him after the kick. Andrew, back here.
Stood on the ankle.
Mark's back here.
Looks like he's
Mark's here. No, it's your kick.
battling in a major way.
That was during the smother, I think. So Thompson's got the ball after Baker was slung. This is Montagna. Penetrating kick, well inside the forward 50. Fraser again was up. That was in the back. Green must get a free kick. And Ball decides to work him over.
Let go.
Bartram in quickly. Ball pleading his case, but I'm not sure that Green didn't cop a bit. I think Ball has drawn that famous line in the sand. He's had enough. He's not going to take any more. He's as mad as hell.
Well, he's waited all pre-season. 7 minutes in, he's been hit pretty hard.
Howard Beale said that. Network.
I'm listening, Dennis. I'm listening. I'm enjoying. Robertson. She they could have done without the D's. And marked by Roddo inside 50. It's a good kick by White going in. And he's in a bit of trouble.
Just landed heavily. Opens up the rib cage and just taking a bit of wind out of his sails.
Clark. Ball front spot. Holland. Good tackle. Del Santo. Very good tackle in the end.
Thank you.
Melbourne's lost its way, hasn't it? Really struggling.
They don't look like they're going to score a goal at the moment, Bruce.
Haven't scored anything for 23 minutes, the Demons. Just lucky that they're still right in touch on the board. Saints haven't really hurt them at this stage. They've got the lead, but it's just 10 points. Montagna. Was that in the back? Well, it was over the shoulder in the end. There's a Melbourne free kick. And it goes to McDonald.
Thanks, Xavier.
Both sides look very tired, and obviously being the first game of the year, you do get that lactic acid build up rather early, but
Johnston in front. Held without it. McDonald, 11 possessions now. Johnson, about 60 metres out. Normally uses the ball so well. Told to play on now, Travis Johnston. There's a cross to the ground intended for Holland. Fixed him up. Mark is taken by Milne.
can't go forward though. Dennis, there is not a player inside attacking 50.
He's got some runners to the outer side though. Kaczynski, they stay off him, gave him space. He can kick it a long way. Kicks it over Fraser's head. He's drifting back with Carroll. How will it bounce? Carroll or Fraser will get a kick. It's going to Fraser. Fraser Gehrig, 20 metres out. And this will be a big replay.
From my view, that's what I see. Straight back to him. Fraser! From where I was, he just gets it like that. Yeah, your arms are both around. Couldn't lift his arms up. Adam!
What do you think then?
2 metres, thank you.
I think it's play on, if not a free kick to Carroll.
Very touchy.
But Fraser Gehrig, directly in front, comes in. He's hit the post twice tonight, just misses the post this time, gets the goal.
Just looking at those two wrestlers, I don't know who's scarier, Nathan Carroll or Fraser Gehrig. Ball came inside, they left Kaczynski open, and when you do that, he was able to put the ball exactly where Fraser wanted it, into his space. And once you take your eye off the footy and you're grappling, well, it's a 50-50 decision.
Saints have kicked 5 straight in this quarter. Fiora did miss one out on the fall, but they kicked 2-7 in the opening turn and 5 straight, and they've got the big lead in the match at 16 points for them here.
No, they both got it. They both got it.
Ricky Olorenshaw.
He didn't have it. You had it, James. Throw it up here.
He hobbled off and he's in a lot of pain. He's in the hands of the doctor right now.
Who was that, Rick?
Brock McLean.
During that smother, Bruce.
Yeah, when he was just slow to get ball on boot. He's had one of those nights, Brock, hasn't he? Fumbled early in the match. A lot of soft tissue problems. They held him up a bit in the NAB Cup, but they thought he was raring to go tonight. So that's a body blow for the D's. Remember how good he was in that elimination final last year. Clark, been pretty good tonight. Bursts away. Gehrig getting so much of it. Got the bad bounce. He got the lucky break a moment ago, but he got the bad one then. And then Carroll wide. It was Johnston's bad kick that put Melbourne in trouble not too long ago when he centred the ball and coughed it up. That's a difficult kick for Miller. Does well to Bate. Can go a long way, Bate. He's got a chance here. He's 50 out. Measures it. It's going to go towards the square. Robbo did very well. Brilliantly done. Superb. What a goal. I feel... I'm not going to say it, but it was very, very... No, I won't. It's too early. Say it. Good, it was good.
Only Robbo can do that. He controlled the ball down. Bate. Oh, that was wonderful. He just does not stop amazing everybody, and I reckon he'll be talking about that for a long time to come.
Goal of the year. Dennis, they won't beat that, will they?
They won't beat that, Bruce. Well, David Neitz was the clubhouse leader in the goal of the year competition. He kicked the first one tonight, but that has been surpassed.
Wait for the bounce.
Patent pending, I think you'd say here.
Got the nice
patent pending.
Got some nice bounce too, Den.
Fantastic. There's a memory. That will be goal of the year. I don't care who does what between now and then. So Bruce back on the board before half-time. First game, Friday Night Football. There's no doubt about you, partner.
You can get lucky, but what a goal.
Fantastic. He's that sort of player. You'd pay to see him.
Watch out.
Rick's over the top. Can that inspire the Demons? Comes wide. Fisher to Del Santo. Del Santo towards half forward, clock down to 16 seconds. Kaczynski, heartening signs for the Saints from this fella.
Very good signs, Dennis. He's leading up. He's got a good set of hands. He looks confident.
Down to 6 seconds. Inside the 50. Saints need a mark. They won't get it. Carroll comes up and claims it. In one sense is, well, it is the halftime score. St Kilda, big turn. They trailed at quarter time by 8. They lead now by 10. 7-7 to 6-3. Russell Robertson, the goal of the first half, but the goal is to win. And the Saints right now, thanks to that second quarter, are well on the way.
Just the Demons, it looked like they had come here to play in the first quarter, but the St Kilda played in the second quarter.
Gehrig's been pretty good, hasn't he? I mean, he's only got the one goal, but he's been the big forward of the match from St Kilda's point of view. Neitz, the early goal.
Don't hold him.
Second half about to start. Melbourne with some work to do now after they made the running for most of the first half before the Saints pegged them back. McDonald's handball misses his target. Ball gets a high tackle. Been in the wars. Has one of the co-captains. Good looking kick to Del Santo, who drifts inside 50 and takes another pose mark.
Right on it there, okay?
Really quiet in the first quarter, Del Santo. They took him off the ground at one stage. They were trying to drop the tag from McDonald. They brought him back on, played him as a forward. Much better in the second quarter.
Don't come in, Cam.
Averaged 22 disposals last year. This will be a handy one. Right on 50. It's timed it reasonably well. Clark was the one that went up high. Bate got the bad bounce. Blake went to ground. Bell can't get an effective handball away. Now in again, Bell. Run down though. Chance for Del Santo. Ward, Clark, Bell again for the third time in that passage of play. Just slams it onto the boot.
Montagna arches the back, slips away, 60 metres out. Long kick. Only man back is White. Dropped the mark. Fraser Gehrig off the ground. Touched. Johnson did very well. Chris Johnson sprawling across the boot. Well, they've done that a few times. Careless kick-ins. Chance for the 7-point play. Johnston has other ideas. Kept his head. Clever kick coming out. Bounces right on the 50. Paddling it along. Bartram did well. Maloney liked his game. Started very well tonight. Maloney kicks towards half forward. Neitz a long way up the ground. Knocked away by Fisher. Neitz kept on coming. Has got support. Maloney runs into Fisher. Down he goes. Holding the football.
Their tackling's been fantastic tonight, St Kilda. That was an area they need to improve on from last year, particularly their forwards. And they've been very good in this first half of football.
The run of Montagna once more. Miscues with a kick this time. Skirts the perimeter. Coming up is Carroll. The heavy breathing, I think, is coming from Fraser Gehrig. Maybe it's an umpire. It's out of bounds.
Dennis, the tackle count is 38 to the Saints, 25 to Melbourne. That's an area they need to pick up on.
So the Demons struggling with McLean and Whelan on that interchange.
Play on, both locked.
So their numbers are down, and they're down on the scoreboard. Green trying to get a free kick, and now he's in strife.
In the back.
Well, he got it.
Here it is.
Did a bit of a swan dive in the end with Montagna over him.
This is where they've had real trouble moving the ball from this part of the ground. It's opened up now.
Chris Johnson.
Yours, mate.
Kick to Holland. Now Dutchie's a chance to Miller. Miller very short. Well set up. An unbroken passage of play from one end to the other for the first time in a long time.
It's a long time since we've seen that from Melbourne coming out of defence.
So Neitz, he kicked 8 against the Saints in the home and away last year, and then 4 in the final, coming in for his third kick. It's about where he was in the first quarter, just a bit further out, and he's tugged it a bit, and the captain misses.
Sam Fisher's done a good job on him. They've had an interesting tussle tonight. I thought Fisher might have been giving away too much size and too much strength, but he stuck to the task well.
Ram to Harvey. Terrible kick coming out. Attard in trouble. Clark charging forward, wrestled down, and the umpire will ball it up. What about Matthew Clark? Like a dinosaur relishing climate change. He's there, waiting to go for it. That time beaten. Get him. Holland, Bates. Johnston, forward of the wing. Look away, hand pass. Uze sold into trouble. Milne, strong tackle, got him down. Still Uze battles on over the top. Fisher. Holding the ball is the call.
Had they done their homework on Melbourne, they would have looked at how many handballs they have, particularly in the midfield between the two arcs. They've applied pressure and they're coughing the ball up Melbourne again in the early part of this third quarter.
Two very strong tackles from Lee Fisher rewarded. Clark goes across the ground. Rick slides in, takes the mark. Alongside the centre circles. His side up by 10 points. Montagna. Penetrating kick, well inside the forward 50. Ball attracted a crowd. Gehrig gets the crumb and kicks a goal.
Just kicking there. It was actually, in the end, the ball went to a 3-on-1. Fraser decided to stay down, just crumbed that ball and just kicked it off the ground. Three of the Melbourne players went to ground, and that would be something that Neil Danherbe is shaking his head up in the box about. They should have been able to raffle that on that occasion.
Saints get it out to 16 points. Their biggest margin tonight was 16 in the second term. They've kicked 6 of the last 7. St Kilda. Ball. Montagna. A good year last year, and he started this one very, very well. Blake.
In the back.
It's been...
Stay clear, Matty.
It was an interesting first half with Blake and Bruce, and now Baker, who kicked 2 first-half goals. A little bit up and under. Gehrig always the target. Built away from White. Bruce got it back to Bate, to Bartram. Melbourne trying to build. Floating kick, Robertson. Did get a free kick.
In the back.
Mark's back here. Grammy. Mark's back here.
Just might have got this in the eye, I'm not sure. Just across the front of the face.
Oh.
Robbo short.
Brendan, thank you.
Chris Johnson wide to White. Not going very far here, Melbourne.
They've changed the angle, but now that's been closed down again by the St Kilda defence.
And then White with a hook to the pocket. Neitz with some space. Now being corralled. Centering ball. And a bad kick to the front of the square. Rick's belted it away. Graham rode the tackle really well. And then gets a bad bounce his own.
Should be an umpire. Goes looking for Harvey. On his knees. Advantage is paid. Coming through is Fisher. Got it from Graham, back to Fisher. He's in trouble. Down he goes. On the ground to Fraser Gehrig. Gehrig does well. Nimble in midfield. Montagna goes towards half-forward for Fiora. Will want his left side. Kicks inside the 50, but ill-directed. Straight onto the chest of Holland.
He had to hang on to that ball. They didn't have the numbers back. They weren't set up.
Green. Bartram missed Bell completely. Bell was going in the opposite direction to Shepherd. Montagna was over the ball. Fisher gave it to Ball, who's having an impact. Not 15, said the umpire. Or did he pay the mark? He did. Wow.
Still free.
Clark spots a man down in the pocket, sets it up in that direction. Milne not quite tall enough as Holland was bearing down. And the last line, Bate. Lays it off, missed there by Johnson. Montagna, ball smothered off the boot. Blake, Montagna beating everything down. He went. Harvey in the opposite direction. Quick hands. Came out from Montagna. Fiora now ball. Lines up as it got the carry, not quite. Holland back again.
Bruce.
Another defensive mark.
And Timmy does find Bruce out wide. Gee, both teams are finding it hard right now, aren't they? Saints with seemingly endless opportunities in that passage of play, and Bruce's kick is floated out on the full.
They just can't find themselves, in fact it's a free kick being paid there, they just can't find themselves a winning forward at the moment. Aaron Davies been really shut down by Haddad. He's had 3 possessions for the night. They'll need a lift from him.
Fisher to Goddard. Got a ton of space. Thompson just off the interchange, spots him up well. And then goes back to Goddard because he's one of the best setters up in the business from here normally. And he goes long to Gehrig, and he's got him. It's a good kick, and it was great play by Gehrig.
Nathan.
You're right, though. That was purely because he had the penetration in his kick to kick over that first target.
And Thompson conceded, didn't he? He said, "You'll be better at this than me.
No more.
Your turn." It was not beyond the G train, this one. Kick 2. Started by hitting the post twice in the first quarter. It's coming back. He's hit it 3 times now, but that's the first time on that side. So Gehrig almost taking this game apart here, but still Melbourne within some sort of touch, but they do need the next one.
I'm really surprised that they haven't shifted Holland back onto Gehrig, because he's had so much success against him in the recent past.
Stay clear, stay clear!
He's just been too strong in those one-on-one contests.
Bates, little chip.
Thanks, Lee, Joey!
Chris Johnson. Fraser Gehrig's best effort against Melbourne, 7 round 18, 2005. He could have had 5 or 6 already in this game. Johnston to Holland in the opposite back pocket. Short one to Carroll. Carroll plays on. Bell needs to be quick. Montagna with some conviction. Melbourne under pressure. Green tackled by Thompson. Terrific stuff by the Saints. Fiora emerges with a football. Milne spears a pass. Well, I'm not sure that was his intention, but it's good enough. If it was intended, it was fantastic.
All the handballs at the moment, see Luke Ball getting some attention there again. All the handballs, free player here, Robert Harvey, loose checking by Melbourne. All the handballs so far have been get-out handballs. They haven't been creative, set-up type handballs. And St Kilda have just kept coming and coming and coming with their pressure.
They're panicking a bit at the moment, the Demons.
Robert Harvey, not always the best kick at goal, but that one's a beauty.
Harvey free inside 50 there, Del Santo, who just is an intelligent player. But once again, that whole goal resulted in the fact that Melbourne weren't able to escape from their defensive part of the ground. They handballed. None of it was creative. They haven't got the players who are running to the correct positions. They haven't got an exit strategy from that part of the ground. And this game is purely being played on St Kilda's terms.
The marks inside 50 tell a tale. 18-7 the Saints, and 12 different Saints have taken those 18 marks. And they've kicked 7 of the last 8, and this is the biggest margin in the match so far. Davey gets it. Needs to have a big second half. Good kick to Robertson. It's a long way from home.
Well, if they can get the ball to Aaron Davey in the middle of the ground, they've got some chance of getting back into this game, but Adard's done a very good job on him.
That was one handball that did work for the Demons. Someone on the burst with some space.
Play on, play on, play on!
So Robertson forced to play on and then just wobbles to Uze. Uze drops it and then misses.
Well, that was extraordinary.
Thanks, James.
Draws himself alongside Stephen Phoebe tonight, Uze, with 258 games, equal 4th on the all-time list, behind Neitz, Flower, Steins. And the Saints from the back pocket.
Fisher to his namesake. He was taken over the shoulder by the Melbourne captain, Sam Fisher. Lee Fisher's been very good tonight. Here's Graham. They're the umpire. Graham, under no real pressure, kicks beyond the wing. Going back with the flat of it, Fiora went to ground, taken down Attard. Front on was Ward. Attard got to his feet. Well done, Fiora. Goddard, Thompson, now Hayes. Into the path of Goddard, 70 metres out, steps over the football if you don't mind. Wheels around, some indecision. Now they'll set up again. Baker working a little 1-2 with Clark, goes down towards the pocket, and Baker, the man they love to hit, draws a relayed free.
Downfield. Yep, got him high. Hey, thanks, that's right. That's right, Aaron, just high. It's just a free kick, nothing more. Nothing more, just a free kick. Hey, keep going,
just watch
fellas,
again, they're just too high there from Aaron Davey. Just a little bit of frustrations beginning to creep into his game.
The players are going to be frustrated. Generally, they like to be frustrated around Stephen Baker. Meantime, Fraser Gehrig puts it straight through the middle. Alarm bells is sounding for the Demons.
That was a wonderful bit of play. That was a wonderful bit of play there before from Attard, who I've already mentioned in this score has done a terrific job on Davey, but he was tackled. You thought that was it. He wasn't going to get back up off the ground. He was able to get back up off the ground, and then they were able to then clear that congested area, just open up again. They've been prepared to run. They've been prepared to work hard both ways, the Saints, and now it's paying dividends for them.
They're charging away, the Saints here. Been happy to have Ricks and Clark on the ground at the same time for much of this second half, the Saints. Jamar and Ricks. Melbourne really paddling here. Very few scoring shots for Melbourne since quarter time. Green, who started well, brings it back to about 30 metres. Saints with the numbers. Goddard, clever to Graham. Got a chance to really break this open, the Saints. To Attard. It's coming back, I think.
As he kicked it. Bullshit.
Free kick back.
So the free kick coming back, David Schwartz.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't St.Kilda make that kick? No.
So here's Fisher. Melbourne in disarray at the moment, and Gehrig again.
Thanks, Nathan.
They're beginning to unravel, aren't they?
Gehrig to fall forward. Kozicki the target. And a free kick to the Saints. Play on advantage is going to come back because Milne missed.
Well, I think in fairness, Milne did hear the whistle and looked back over his shoulder.
The advantage.
Let's watch this again.
No, but I stopped it. Mark's right here.
Well, what was
Right
that
on,
for?
Justin. Stay clear on him.
Just the body used by Kozicki in the first place against Holland.
Yes, one would have thought
If
should
there
have
was
gone
going to
the
be a
other
free
way.
kick, it might have gone the other way. No hand in the back there.
Kozicki for another one for the Saints. And they stroll away here now. It's got two.
It's when you put your arm back over his neck.
A very frustrated Aaron Davies now been taken from the field. Johnson comes back on. Attard has gone to Johnson, but no, he's going to stay off the ground while Davies not on the ground. And Baker, who's had the job all night on Johnson, comes back on just to gather him once again. Look, not sure about this free kick. I think it's been paid against Holland for over the shoulder there against Kozicki, but he's very lucky to get it.
Wait for the bounce.
So the Saints get their fourth goal from a free kick, and since quarter time they've outscored Melbourne 9-2 to 2-2. Enjoying his debut as a coach. Neil Danaher, his 10th season with the Demons. Tough start tonight. Del Santo, Harvey, Montagna, the big third term, bounces it down towards the 50. Carroll, Holland, Carroll, Ward, crowd getting a little restless. Maloney, now McDonald, kicks it down towards half forward. Lee Fisher, well, almost a clever mark. In fact, it's paid. Let's go down to David on the boundary.
Just watching all the Melbourne midfielders, no one's actually picking up any of the St Kilda players. They're just almost having a shootout. You'd expect, being 30 points down, that Neil would be suggesting either pick up a player or hard tag on one player. The only one is Stephen Baker picking up Travis Johnson.
Kozicki lobs one inside the forward. 50! Oh, White! Huge leap. Didn't hang on. Bartram. Johnson, now Ward. Again they look up, nowhere to go. Uze back to White. The oxygen masks fell for White. Now the mark is taken by Ball. Industrious getting amongst it. Thompson. Lee Fisher liked his game. Ricks, nobody near him at centre half forward. How can that be? Ricks to space. 2-on-1. Fraser does brilliantly. Milne takes the mark.
Inside 50s in the third quarter, 14-4 now. That's just an example of the dominations.
You're on your angle. Yeah, that's it there. Thanks, Clint.
Well, that was a big spring there by Jeff. I just wonder whether or not he hurt himself there, because he was very slow getting up and then picking up Ricks, who was the St Kilda player who was all alone at centre-half forward there.
Milne, the beneficiary of Fraser Gehrig's good work, blocked out his opponent. Happy to get 2-on-1 in the pocket. Here's White again. A regulation mark that time.
Demons have had 25 kicks, including White, and 32 handballs in this term. So right now they've had more handballs than kicks in this match.
And most of those handballs have gone nowhere. They've been get-out-of-pressure type handballs.
They've been from one player in trouble to another player in just as much trouble. And flat-footed most of the time. It's not pretty. Uze, Jones, to Bell, to Bate, to White. Now the kick to full forward, to centre-half forward. In fact, Neitz front spot, Ricks at the back. Good tackle, Cameron Bruce. Fisher, both the Fishers have been good. Maguire belts it away. Now Gehrig, this will be interesting. What will he do? He looks up. He's got Bartram and Carroll, who hooks at the centre-half forward. Kaczynski unable to. Holland did pretty well. And then Ward backtracking. The handball under the puck. Yet again, good tackle. Is it rewarded? It is. It's a broken CD right now, isn't it?
It's very difficult, isn't it? They began their pre-season and they've been programmed to play a certain way. We're going to get our numbers back across half-back. We're going to share the ball by hand. But St Kilda have set the trap beautifully for them tonight. And their pressure, both by their forwards, their midfielders and their defenders, has been first class.
It's a good game for Clark. He got injured in that final last year. Only once last year did he have more than 15 possessions. And he's doing that tonight. He kicked a goal in the first half when the Saints were battling. And he's missed very badly. But to be honest, I'm not sure if it matters too much right now, because Melbourne can't get it into the 50.
St Kilda forwards have laid 12 tackles tonight to Melbourne, 2 at the other end of the ground. Their forwards have laid 2 tackles. The Saints have laid 12. They were the worst side of the competition last year, St Kilda, for that forward pressure. That's one area, obviously, that Ross Lyon has been concentrating on since he arrived.
This is Johnson in the back pocket. Got it from Johnston. Told to play on. This pressure from St Kilda has just been superb in this term. Carroll over the top. McWalter in trouble. Surrounded. Down he goes. Jarred loose. Maloney. Baker came hard. Maloney comes back. Well, a bit late for this sort of passion from Melbourne. 3:45 till three-quarter time. And as always, the man they have to get after involved. Stephen Baker fighting out of his division. Harvey. Hayes. Close to the boundary line, needs to be precise and was. This is Goddard, intent on drawing a man, decides he'll need to kick it, sets it up. Fraser Gehrig launched himself, defied gravity. Down goes Clark. Bruce to Ward, who kicks it out towards left half back.
White running hard. Fisher with him, well done White. To Bate. Melbourne just needs some inspiration somewhere, somehow. Who can provide it? Who can provide the spark? Green to Miller. Good play. Corralled and taken over the line.
Is the well, there's Montagne's in there, Baker's in there, Johnson's in there.
Jones squeezes. Gets it about 30 metres on. Maguire. Gee, he'll be pleased if he can get through this game unscathed. Saints building again. Fisher away. Got a panic in front of him.
David Neitz still walking in the forward 50.
Graham at about 70 metres. Clark short. Just sizing up his options. Now into a bit of strife to Thompson. Goes back to Fisher. Still no opponent. Now
He's on the wing. His direct opponent, David Neitz, is still in the 50, just moving outside the forward 50 now.
Fiora loads it up from about 60. Milne and Johnson. Milne, is it paid? No. And now Carroll. And Melbourne with an effective handball away.
Thought Milne was a bit stiff then. Bell comes away. Good chase back again, that time from Hayes to the wing. Del Santo is in the field, but he'll get the free kick. 76 plays 41.
They're dispirited now too, Melbourne. Not one player ran then to space to try and provide an option.
Here's Graham.
Play on.
Across the ground he goes, Sam Fisher. Only one player behind him. That's his teammate Maguire. He's virtually on the wing, and Maguire is walking forward, as you can see in the foreground. This is Goddard getting in behind the defence, Fiora, and he's a dangerous customer because he kicks long. Just not thinking Melbourne at the moment. Fiora. Having said that, they're not doing a lot of things, Melbourne, at the moment.
Move it on.
Fiora will put this one to the square. Now he decides to pull it back towards the middle. Well, doing the hard work. Rick's dropped the mark. Del Santo almost found a way through. Milne snaps and misses.
Still searching for the first goal tonight, Milne.
Well, Fraser looks like he might have dislocated a finger in going for that contest. Just trying to pull it back into place without any assistance. Fraser, he's tough, isn't he?
It's come from the ground, Gehrig. Terrific third quarter after a very promising first half. She's bait. Disappointed there. And then Robertson and a boundary throw in. Gee, Melbourne are going to be deflated here, Tim, and they came in really fancying their chances tonight and this season. And they've had an awful performance here after a promising start.
Knock it out.
Jones, Uze.
And Bruce, what I was going to say, Bate is a young player and he's going to be a very good player, but on that occasion he just had to go back with confidence and strength and take that ball. It's amazing how inspirational something like that can be and what sort of an example that can set for the rest of your teammates.
Just saw the inside 50s in this term, 5-18. Melbourne did start last year badly. Carlton beat them in the opening round and then they lost their first 3 and did recover.
His whole pre-season has just unravelled in 3 quarters of football now.
Yep. So bad, Melbourne, at the moment. Here's Ball. What a wonderful return. Fiora, the man I said moments ago, can kick the ball long. Ambles inside the 50 and tugs it right. Should have done better.
Cool, mate. No problems there.
The margin is 37 points, 8 seconds out from three-quarter time. The margin was 10 at half-time. Melbourne led by 8 at quarter time. The Saints came back to lead by those 10 points I mentioned. And now it's blown out. Even here, they're far from convincing. And generally, this is the full-back position. Johnson in the back pocket. Carroll. Nothing harming St Kilda. Three-quarter time. And the Saints have done that group proud. Their fans waving the flags. 11-12 to 6-5.
David Neitz got the first goal of the season and hasn't had a lot of it since.
Well, he's spot on, Neil. That's exactly what they need to do. They need to be able to open the game up and get that first kick. But the players have been programmed, I would think, over the summer months to get the handball on and try and open up through handball because that's where they've got the numbers.
Fraser Gehrig, very lively. 3 goals, could have been a lot more, and instrumental in 2 or 3 others. Advantage paid to Melbourne. Maloney comes away. White was going to get a free kick inside the forward 50. Neitz slow down. That was a good grab. Couldn't defend it really any better. A man step for step with him.
I thought that was okay. It was instantaneous. That was it. Ruck contest got him in the face. Matty knows why.
Beautiful kick there by Maloney too, just to the favourite side. Do all the body work there. They haven't been able to get that match up, that isolation often enough tonight.
If it's continuous, we need to let them go. That's our instruction.
Neitz, 40 metres out. The skipper kicks the opening goal of the final term. Their first since half-time.
It's continuous. Advantage is okay.
Some of those St Kilda players are complaining there about the fact that the advantage law was paid on that occasion. The rule was played. The free kick was to Jeff White for high. The St Kilda players stopped. I thought it was just a continuous passage of play, though. I think the umpires got it right on that occasion. Good, strong body work here by David Neitz. That's what we know he can do. Not enough times tonight have they been able to get the ball in there to that one-on-one contest, so he's been able to use his strength.
So Neitz with a couple of goals.
Nothing stupid on the line.
Clark and White the veteran ruckman in the game. In fact, the Saints tonight have got 3 of the 6 oldest players that will be playing in round 1. Harvey, Thompson and Clark all out there together tonight. Hasn't stopped them producing a great performance. Hayes to Maguire. Didn't think we'd be calling them in round 1, did we? Hayes and Maguire, but they are there. Clark, centre half for Dos Santo. Gehrig with strength. Carroll with him. Gehrig off the ground. Just couldn't get the angle in the end. He does improvise so well, doesn't he?
You could see what was on his mind as soon as that ball started to move towards him.
He's not hard to read, but he's hard to stop. Is Gehrig. Ward. Robertson. Graham. Well, can the Demons salvage something from this opening night? They kicked the opening goal in the final term. They're 5 goals behind. Kicked just 1 goal since half-time.
Thrown in, White backhands it down. Sliding in, Maloney. He's tried very hard tonight. And that ball, I'd venture to say, is not coming out.
Thanks, boys. Straight up. Thank you. Thanks, Luke.
Mark Jamar just stretching it up. A rather forlorn Melbourne bench. Clark, easily done. Down to Baker, stood up in the tackle. Well done. Hayes gave it to Clark, Baker, Del Santo. Now the run comes from Fiora. Closing him down was Davey. Went to ground too easily. Still Fiora. Tumbles over. Taken down. Bruce, he must get a free.
Great play by Bruce.
It was.
Great perseverance.
By the same token, St Kilda forcing it forward. It took Bruce at his best to thwart them. Opposite pocket. McDonald runs it up towards the defensive 50. Miller is breaking. He ignores that. And Miller has to go back. Jones has got the football. The next wave is led by Robertson. No real conviction in that attempt to mark, but he's going to get the free. Kicked the goal of the season earlier tonight. I know it's not one game in, but believe me, it is the goal of the season. Taken by Maguire. Harvey, little chip around the boundary and a good one to Goddard. I think he's a very important player and an emerging player for the Saints.
He emerged last year, Dennis. He had his breakout season last year.
Fiora on the burst. Good hands there by Blake.
Takes me a while, Tim.
Give it back now, give it back.
No 50, so
Very lucky.
Blake at 50 on the angle.
It's right there.
Just to redefine his role, really, Blake, with Clark at the club and Ricks in his second season.
Yeah. That's it, Luke.
So a tool run with. Now there's Ball. Just 4 goals last year, Ball. Had a lot of problems with the osteitis pubis.
That's it.
He really struggled last year just with the power in his kicking.
20 seconds.
Still averaged over 20 possessions, though. He's a tough player, Luke Ball.
He's shown that tonight, hasn't he? After being belted early, and back he's come and contributed and kicks from 49 and misses. So a couple of shots for goal for Ball tonight. One out on the full and a miss. And they haven't been too accurate, the Saints, but they've got a big lead. What would seemingly be a winning break early in this final term.
He still doesn't look fluent in his kicking, Luke. I just wonder whether or not he's been able to regain the full power in his legs after what took place last year.
Johnston. Clever kick. Only one man could get to that. He did. Holland. Carroll. Johnson cruising past. Carroll decides he'll kick. Took a divot. As a result, it affected the kick. It falls in short. Miller in real trouble.
Over the shoulder. Free kick. First tackle was okay, then it ended up high. So I'm back now, Brendan now.
He took off from centre half forward there, Miller, to provide the target, but it was just a poor kick then. It should have hit its target. Now they've got some space again on the other side of the ground.
Miller to Bell. Carroll got in the road initially. Here's Holland once more, pushing up. He's on the wing. Kicks inside the forward 50. Neitz is the target there. Well done by Fisher. Just edged him off the line. Taken by Ward. Pulls it back. In front is Green. Well, not sure what he was trying to do there. Got a fist on it and forced her behind. They'll take anything at this stage of the night.
It's just been so hard for them to score after quarter time, basically. They got a very early goal in the second term.
Brendan, back here. Play on. Luke,
Maloney.
Luke, back a metre. Thanks, mate. Play on.
60 out. Long kick to the goal square. Almost going all the way here. McDonald. Robertson. Oh, gee.
He just about engineered something there too.
That's his spot. It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
Just loves it, doesn't he? So another behind, but still a 5-goal game.
Fiora, he's done okay tonight too. Here's Hayes. Great to see him back. He's played very well. Fraser Gehrig, midway between half back and centre wing. A little chip back to Lenny Hayes, who did his knee against the Kangaroos round 9 last season on Friday Night Football. And I remember he came back onto the ground, then missed the rest of the season. He drives it down towards the attacking 50. Ricks used his body. No free kick. Down goes Ward. And it's not coming out.
You are not trying at all. You are
Holding
just
the ball.
it there.
It was a bit stiff because initially it was held to him.
Blakey's kick.
And I think he realised late they'd let go.
That's it. You just sat on it.
Their pressure's been good all night though, St Kilda. They have deserved this.
Right on it, Cam.
Blake on the forward line tonight. Fraser Gehrig, the clever mark. It was a beautiful kick from Blake, well weighted. And Fraser Gehrig body to body is almost impossible to beat.
Carroll's saying here that he got me in the back. Just watch this closely. There was just a nudge there by Fraser. Didn't use his hands at all. Just shifted Carroll off the line of the ball with his hip.
Are you talking me, Adam?
That's as good as it gets.
It's abuse.
Going at his fourth. Tough kick for the veteran. Good kick by the veteran. Well, standing, it's going to be 50 for abuse. You heard that. Well, we're expecting something a little more from the umpire. What's the US military policy? Don't ask, don't tell. Gehrig puts it through for a goal. He's got 4.
See Adam Uze, they're just having a discussion with the umpire about who it may have been that...
Yes, you did. Twice you did, Adam. Twice you did.
Well, obviously it was you, Adam.
Yes, you did.
So it was Uze who gave up the 50, not Carroll on the mark.
No, it wasn't Carroll on the mark. It was Uze further down the field.
So Uze giving up the 50 there, the culprit with the abuse. So 4 goals to Gehrig, 4 threes kicked.
Good job. Tap.
It's been the dominant forward in the match. And Clark's done enough, hasn't he? They'll be happy with what he's done tonight.
He's been very good.
Johnston. Miller, who's run very hard in this last quarter. To Neitz. Just couldn't quite get a handle on the handball. Maloney's been busy. Clark again. To Maguire. To Baker. To Hayes. To Clark. To Montagna. Saints lead by 6. Kazitsky clever. Montagna can go all the way. He's at 40. He's at 35. Sprays it. And Bruce gets back to take the mark.
Look, back here.
Had 22 touches tonight, Montagna. He's been a very good player for St Kilda. Averaged over 20 last year. That was his best season of football so far.
Well, that sums it up.
That's it, Dennis.
No, that's out of bounds on the full, isn't it? Or he's going to make him take it again.
The rule is you take your kick again because it hasn't come back into play. That is the rule. Okay? I know the rules. I know. That's just the rule, mate. I know. Because he's out and he hits the post.
That's an odd one, though, because it's a live ball, isn't it?
No, it's not. Cam.
Well, it just about summed up the Demons' night, but they get a little reprieve, but it's not on account for much at the end.
Means nothing. Kick back towards half-back. Good grab by White in there. Reaching over the top. Done some good things tonight, but spasmodic. And really, with the scoreboard the way it is, little point in going back, I would suggest. He kicks it down towards half forward. Surprise, surprise. Miller was taken by surprise. Dropped the mark. Hayes to Goddard. Lamentable Melbourne at the moment. This is Baker.
No, 15. Play on, play on.
With the umpire, Clark all the time in the world. Back to Baker. To Goddard. Goddard on the defensive 50. Good kick. Fiora finding space in midfield. Can run on. Fiora comes out wide, sliding in, getting into his move early was Milne. Dropped the ball, play goes on. Clark dragged down. Over the football was McDonald, dug it out. Well done on the last line. Bate. Perfect. Coming away, Ward kicks it down inside the 50. Leading back is Neitz. Runs onto it. Question of accuracy from deep in the pocket. Kicks the goal. His third.
That was a great solo performance there by Neitz. On the lead, he actually sensed that the ball was going to go over his head. Just took Sam Fisher just slightly underneath the ball there. I thought Graham was going to attack it there. I thought he was going to run hard at the ball and just try to apply some pressure. He just gave a soft pressure. He actually just faded away from Neitz, and that's really smart play there by Neitz to screw the ball back around like that.
Well, if someone told you at the start of the night that Robbo would kick 3 and Neitz would kick 3, you'd say that'd almost do, wouldn't you? They've got 6 between them, but not much else. White's got 1 and Green 1, so few and far between just the 4 goal scorers, but they've got 6 from their 2 key forwards, but they're a long way back, the D's. McDonald did pretty well there. Little one from Bruce to Maloney, who has been busy. Davy's been quiet. That was clever, though. Jamar, but excellent play by St Kilda there. It was by Thompson. Free kick to Baker, surely no. Miller, Green, Davey, back to Green. Little one, stopped in its tracks. Neitz searching, looking for something. Can Davey produce some magic? Not quite. Can't get the left foot away. Ricochets off Hayes. Baker's little give okay. Clark threads through, ball run down, not holding it. Now to McDonald, 50 out, goes to the pocket, finds Bruce.
The tape over the years, you don't hear them coming, Tim.
That was some fantastic pressure though, wasn't it? Both from the St Kilda defenders, and then again, and we haven't seen that nearly enough tonight from the Melbourne forwards, just to keep applying pressure and ultimately win the ball back.
Miller has worked hard in the final term. Bruce kicks the goal. Relatively speaking, Tim, it has been a better effort in the last quarter.
Well, they had to though, didn't they? They had to produce something because they were miserable in the second quarter, deplorable in the third quarter, and they have been much better in this last quarter. And I would think, though, that perhaps Ross Lyon would be concerned about some of those players out there tonight that are a little bit underdone. Lenny Hayes, as we've already mentioned tonight, and Maguire at centre-half back as well.
For all we've said about the Demons, that scoreline says it's not impossible. They're down by 24 points, 25 scoring shots to 16, with just under 10 minutes to go. The Saints cruising just a little, need to be careful here. Melbourne with a lot more desperation. Thompson over the football, feeds it out. Clark in desperate trouble. Hand passes up in the air, then knocks it on. Jamar had a half a chance, missed it. Work forward Montagna. Davey, his 7th possession. 3 in about the last 2 minutes, but prior to that was in negative territory. Now an opportunity. Johnston around the outer side, settles, kicks down towards the 50, almost to Miller, bounced off the chest. Bate gets a hand pass out wide, accommodates Johnston, comes back to Jones. Well, Melbourne suddenly finding some run. McDonald to Johnson, finds a way through outside the 50, chips down towards Robertson, knocked away by Graham. Robertson went down, plenty of Saints. Attar, Goddard, close to the boundary line, Maguire, and now Graham once more.
They're looking tired now, St Kilda.
Demons just 1 goal away, you reckon, from making this very interesting, but now Clark with a couple of bounces, wanting the lead to come. Goes to full forward. Milne getting back. Jamar. Gehrig and Milne together. Still with Milne. Creating. Left foot. Misses. That would have been it, you reckon? Still can't find a goal. Ricky Orenshaw.
Well, Ben Holmes had to come off the ground to get some work done from the physio, which left a real mismatch in the St Kilda four-line with Kaczynski getting picked up by Daniel Bell.
Kaczynski put his hands up in the air then, yet on that occasion he felt that Stephen Milne should have crossed the ball to him. Harvey's arms went up in the air as well.
Yeah, 2 guys on, about 15 metres out from goal. Bell's kick to the outer side, missed by Johnston, cleaned up by a teammate. McDonald it was, who feeds it out to Jones. Well played, Uze. The defensive side of the wing. That's a clever kick. Johnston didn't break stride. Melbourne, give them their due. They played some bad football tonight. This is their best passage in the game. Bate lays it off. McDonald, a key in all of this, goes in short, taken by Green. Green goes for distance, Dunnerwood's full forward. White from behind, got to the contest. Clark slapped it forward. Maguire has it now, out of defence, towards the wing. Running out of space is Baker. It stays in for Uze, lays it off to Johnson. Johnson feeds it back to Johnston. Across the ground, Maloney. Maloney midway between the lines, centre wing and half forward, sets it up. Neitz, Del Santo coming back. Neitz juggles the mark. Oh, this will be a big kick. He's got 3. He's lining up for his 4th to pull the margin back to 19 points.
Clear out. Jason.
Wow.
This is just strength again by David Neitz. Sam Fisher in the right position, just unable to block the ball.
Sam. Just in line with me.
St Kilda virtually going up and down on the spot. And Neitz, that hurts. Tugs it left.
You're right though, Dennis. The Melbourne midfielders that have been missing for most of the night are now starting to get plenty of football. They're full of running, Melbourne.
Fisher. What a shame that Neitz missed.
Play on.
Graham had more bounces last year than anybody else
Yours.
in the competition. Good kick. Fabulous kick to Harvey. Harvey to full forward. Gehrig, front spot, no free kick. Ward, still Ward to Bruce, who's had a good last quarter. He's got some mates in this last quarter too. Johnson gets it from McDonald. Awkward bounce. He's going to fancy himself here. Another awkward bounce. He's still got the footy, but he hasn't got a lot of control. And Clark gets back. And you just wonder whether the Demons have had their chance with Neitz and Johnson then. Baker back from Goddard. And then Goddard to Del Santo. And St Kilda just steady up now.
He had to keep running then, Johnson. No, he looked up and David Neitz was against 4 St Kilda defenders inside their attacking 50.
Fewer wide, and now the Saints with a paddock.
Neil Danaher's blood pressure up to about 200 over 140, I think, with that second bounce from Johnson. Seemed for a moment he was through, and he can kick a long goal. But he turned it over, and now Clark's got him. As Bruce said, has had a good night. Demands something of McWalter, who dropped the mark, but cleverly gets out of trouble against quality opposition. McDonald couldn't ping him, and now Harvey spots a man, Montagna, who takes the mark about 35 metres out. His hard run has been instrumental in the position the Saints find themselves in right now. The one area of his game that needs, I think, to improve is his goal kicking, particularly on the run. He's going to find himself in that situation many times, breaking through across half forward. This, a set shot, and you would think, if he kicks truly, it should put down the resistance. Lee Montagna, we're right behind him. Friday Night Football, and the Saints are denied by the woodwork.
They found it a few times tonight. Gehrig 3 on his own. In fact, that's the 4th poster for them.
Ross Lyon just starting to look a little bit agitated in the coach's box.
And it looks like he's going to have a winning start, doesn't it?
Play on.
Miller gets it. Just need to string 2 or 3 together in a real hurry here. Neitz on the long lead. Bate was running through, ball just couldn't get to him, and now Neitz comes across the ground. They're just looking for a high mark here. This could hurt if the Saints get control of it. Melbourne with the numbers around it. Davey, can he split it open? Poor handball. Johnson to Green. They go back to Neitz. Long way from home. Little kick to the pocket to Green. But they're a long way away, both on the scoreboard and from the goal right now. Green centering kick. J-Mark outnumbered. Good mark, Cozzy. Got to be happy with Kosicki, don't they? Hayes looks like he's going to get through. Maguire's going to get through. Saints are going to bring a lot from this first match tonight. Quick turnaround for them. They've got Brisbane Easter Thursday at the Gabba. And Melbourne, well, they've got a while to think about it. Next Monday week against Hawthorn on the Easter Monday.
They'll just slow it down from here. They'll try and set up kicks down the line, very similar to the way that Sydney, we've seen over the last few years, the way they've controlled the tempo.
Luke Ball goes back. A casualty early in the game. Del Santo, quiet opening term, has got better. Well, he's faded in this term. Coming up for his 18th possession. Comes out very wide. Kosicki, that last mark he took, about 25 metres out from goal, is very good for the self-esteem. He needed it. Says something about his application, that he was able to take it. Here's Harvey.
He's been good in the last 5 minutes. Just kept running and presenting himself well, Harvey.
Fiora liked his game tonight too. Likes the MCG. Plenty of space.
Harvey could be a very good last quarter player this year.
Out wide, Blake. Close to the boundary line. Not quite as dexterous as George Young, who used to wear number 27, but he's done a pretty good job on the forward line. Started very well. Good crowd tonight too. On what's been a pretty cool night in Melbourne.
Harvey again.
Just inside 50,000. So Del Santo to Fisher. Didn't play AFL footy for a couple of years, Fisher, between the middle of 2004 and 2006. Came back and had a great second half last year. Baker has been good to Sam Fisher, the other Fisher, who's had more rebounds for the Saints than anybody else last year, and he's shown that quality again tonight. Has goals kicked on him, but gives them so much. Gets a lot of the footy.
Been a great effort by Luke Ball to come back on the ground after that heavy knock early in the game as well. Just see Justin Kosicki just flying. That's a sight that is going to warm the heart of every St Kilda fan right across Australia.
It was pretty, wasn't it? You think the Demons last year at the MCG won 11 out of 12. They were 11-1. Well, they're going to be 0-1 after tonight.
Harvey's just racking them up, isn't he, in the last part?
And what I was getting at, Tim, is that used sparingly for 3 quarters, which I'm sure is the plan, he'll do some damage in the final term this season. Clark's got to be happy.
There he is again.
Still working.
7 touches.
Oldest man on any list. 35 going on 36 in his 20th season. Here's Gehrig.
And Revolt will straighten them up, won't he? Nick Revolt, when he comes back, will straighten them up.
They've been really well organised the way they've gone forward though tonight. Blake's played his role too. Hutchton
Within range,
gives them their full back into the side.
Well, they're going to shorten up for the flag after tonight, one way or the other, aren't they, the Saints? Melbourne will get out in the market and St Kilda are going to shorten up.
Haven't paid this bloke much respect tonight either, Melbourne. No. He's had plenty of the ball.
Fiora, his 3rd season at St Kilda. He's played 30 out of a possible 47 going in and coming up for his 22nd disposal tonight. He's had 13 marks. This would just top off a really good evening for him, and he's got it. So just a little bit of icing laid on the cake, isn't it?
He started the game on the wing against Brad Green, and they're pretty much going in whichever direction they wanted to. Both those players are playing very wide of each other. And throughout the course of the night, Fiore's racked up 22 touches, so he's found plenty of space, and that's a dangerous spot to be allowing someone to find some space. Fraser Gehrig, they're very happy with what he now will know is a first up win for the Saints.
So in the dying seconds of this opening match for the 2007 season, the Saints give Ross Lyon the best possible start to his AFL coaching career. He's batting 1 for 1. And they're going to get a whole lot out of this tonight, the Saints. Except for a moment in that final turn, maybe when Neitz was lining up, they really dominated after quarter time. Bull took a hard one early and came back strong. Dennis talked about the fact that they've been waiting a long, long time, 1966. Well, it's just one win, but you reckon it's a terrific start. So in the end, it was the Saints by 31.